Hi there, it's Jeremy from Transparent Classroom, and today we're going to be looking at forms. So let's start by designing a form and looking at how that works. We're going to go to Admin, as an admin, and click on Design Forms. And here we're going to create a new form called the Enrollment form. So we're going to start by adding a few items here. So we're going to start with a name and call this child name. We want this to be required. Let's add a new one. Let's add a date. Let me make this required too. Let's add a yes/no question. And it's nice to keep the title short because we're going to later see all of this data in a table. So let's make it photo permission. And then explain what it is so the parents know if they want to say yes or no. Can we use... And we'll go ahead and make that required too. So they'll have to say yes or no. Let's add a signature. That's often important. And just make that signature. Maybe parent, guardian signature. And let's go ahead and make that required too. And then we'll add emergency contact information because we want to capture that as well. So for that, we probably want to use a table. Who do we call? And then maybe have 3 rows, and then the columns are going to be that we're going to capture name, phone, email. That's probably just fine. Now, I probably want the signature on the bottom, so that's really easy to do. You just grab the signature and drag it down. So let's save it so we don't lose our work. This is good, but we might want to actually use some of the data that Transparent Classroom already knows. Like I think we could do better than having parents retype their child's name on every single form. So if we click on child name and click on this little ... there's comes from that we can add, and we can say that comes from the child name. And we do the same thing with birth date. Comes from child birth date. With emergency contacts, it's a little bit different. We definitely want to populate this from the child's profile and the child's profile information. So we'll say comes from child emergency contacts. That sounds good. But we also want to actually populate the child's profile from the parent's responses on this page. So let's click again here and select goes to and have it go back to the child's emergency contacts. So that'll fill up the child's profile. Maybe we want to add allergies as well. So I kind of want to add it above emergency contacts. So instead of clicking add item and then dragging it, especially if it's a long form, I can just go ahead and click on photo permission and click on copy. Make that done. And let's just change this to be a paragraph. And for allergies, you want this to be allergies. Does your child have any allergies? And then we might want a placeholder there. A placeholder could be peanuts, dairy, ... And then the comes from and goes to, there is one for this as well. So child allergies and child allergies for the goes to. So mark that done, and we're ready to use this form. So what we've seen so far is we've created a form, we've added fields to it, we've selected some mappings, both into the form and out from the form, and move things around on the form. Now that we're ready to use it, we can go actually try that out. So let's go to Children. And we're going to go to Forms here and select the primary classroom. So we can quickly select everyone in the classroom if we wanted to assign this form to everyone in the classroom. Let's go ahead and do that. Enrollment form. And you'll see everyone now has an additional enrollment form that has been requested of their family. We haven't actually told any of the families about that form though, so we might want to select everybody again and notify all their parents. And what would happen then is we would send an email to each of the parents saying, hey, you have a couple forms like Abner's parent would say, hey, you have a couple forms, health form and enrollment form. Please log into Transparent Classroom and fill them out. So what would one of those parents see if they were to actually try that? So let's go take a look at Alice, and we can go log in as her mother, Gabrielle, and see what she sees. So when she logs in, what she's going to see is a little to-do list on the top left of Transparent Classroom and the two forms that she has due. So let's jump into our enrollment form. And as you see, it did populate the child name, the child birth date from Alice's profile. And actually, it looks like we already have had some allergies and emergency contacts for her, but we're going to change this. It turns out this year, we're trying to keep Alice also away from, I don't know, all other nuts too. And maybe we have different emergency contacts this year. So we'll put Carissa Smith, and the number is 222-333-4444. And the email is carissa@example.com. And then I'm going to go ahead and sign it, and it's going to record my name and the date. And I'll go ahead and, actually, let's try this really quick. We're going to go ahead and submit without signing. And you'll notice there's a couple things I forgot. One on purpose, so I'll go ahead and sign that one. And I also forgot this yes/no field. So yeah, it's fine to use my child's photos. So I'll go ahead and hit submit. And now I can see that this has been submitted. So let's jump back to what an admin would see. So we'll stop being Alice's mother, and we'll go back to the children forms page. Look at primary and forms. And here we can still see all the ones that we requested, but this red color means that this form has been submitted to us. So we can scan really quickly to see the forms that we actually have some action on. So I'll go ahead and click on this enrollment form, and I'll say, yeah, this all looks great. So I can approve it. At the point that I approve it, this will actually override the things in Alice's profile. So if we go now to Alice's profile, we'll see over here that her emergency contact is Carissa Smith, and her allergies are peanuts and all nuts. And we can see that in a couple different places. So just on the children page, normally it shows parents, but you can switch to allergies here, and we'll see peanuts and all nuts, or emergency contacts as well. And it'll show her contacts and phone number. So let's jump back to forms, and here we're no longer showing the enrollment form because it's been completed. We can always say show me accepted forms, and it would show up there. And lastly, I want to show you that you can see all the responses together in one form, because you might want to do something interesting with them. So let's look at enrollment form, and we can see that we've assigned it to all of these children, and they're all in the requested state except for Alice, who it's been accepted from. And then here we see all the data that she had. So this is a page that, you know, for a little form it makes sense to look at, and it's helpful. For a big form, it's probably not very manageable, but you can at a glance see what's going to be here, and then you can click download, and it'll all download as a spreadsheet, and you can go ahead and do whatever you want to with that spreadsheet. So that's pretty much a whirlwind tour of forms. Go play with them, have fun. If you have any questions, as always, click on this little question mark icon and send us an email, and we'll help you out. Okay, thanks a lot.